Welcome back. It's Spinningmantis and Squirt Reynolds.
Toot toot.
With more of the ABC murders. We're going to hand the revolver with the blanks.
What about telling me what you have in mind?
Surtout pas. You wouldn't be able to play your role. Wait one moment, I will bring you my weapon.
This feels weird.
Voila, I entrust you with my weapon. It has hardly been used, it is almost new.
Only had to like...
Gandhi mustache. Oh, we've opted for the non-violent end by choosing the blanks. That's good.
Oh,
Chief
okay.
Inspector,
Hopefully
is
we'll
that
still
you?
have a satisfactory end.
Yes.
And Hastings
Sorry,
won't
but
be
we
dead.
haven't found anything.
Have you checked the typewriter?
And the packaging, the letter, and the ribbon reel. We've only found prints left by Cust and his landlady.
Landlady,
Well,
like you
Dun,
said.
dun.
So, are you still going to hold your meeting?
Of course, Chief Inspector. I can hear my guest coming up the stairs.
Why have you brought us here, Mr. Poirot?
Since Cust's arrest, I thought it was all done and dusted. Miss Gray formally identified him, as well as Miss Barnard.
Yes, and the stockings he saw drove the same brand as the ones found at my aunt's.
This is all true. However, a case is not closed if some questions remain open. And one question is, why did the murderer send me his letters? Why did he challenge me, Hercule Poirot?
Perhaps he wanted to play with you, to taunt you.
Xenophobia? Maybe he didn't like you because you're foreign.
I may be wrong, but maybe by provoking you, he was looking for glory?
All these theories should be studied. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
So maybe no more puzzles. Maybe it's just questions and brain. Why did the murderer make a mistake? What? Oh, right. I do remember that.
There
A
you
piece
go.
of envelope with the wrong. There's late arrival. That's why it arrived late. So what have we got? The error in the dress caused the letter's late arrival saved the murderer. The mistake is intentional. Why did the killer send his letters to Hercule Poirot? Inferiority complex? Glory? Or xenophobia? Nope.
Xenophobia, really?
None of them.
The body was still warm. Yes, okay.
Because he's not very...
What?
His address is
Is
not...
everything clear now?
You might like to explain your reasoning again.
Of course. First of all, remember that the murderer made it a rule to always post his letter before the murder. He never digressed from that rule. However, in Churston, he encountered a problem. The village has only 500 inhabitants. With advance warning, it would be easy to arrest him. Therefore, the murderer delayed his letters deliberately with the wrong address. The plan wouldn't have worked if he'd sent it to Scotland Yard or the papers because everybody knows their addresses. The mistake would have been corrected and the letter would have been on time. That is why the murderer chose me as the recipient.
What?
Because for
Because
his
he has an
plans,
obscure
it was
address, you couldn't
necessary
get
for
Scotland
at least
Yard.
one of the letters to have a wrong address and get lost. It was very cunning.
Absolument. It is a very subtle plan. It matches the profile we have drawn up of him perfectly. That of an intelligent, daring and calculating murderer.
But that's not how you describe Cust.
You are quite right, mademoiselle. Like you, I find it hard to believe that this dull character is the clever murderer we are looking for.
I don't even see the landlady.
madman. I mean, if he's mad, he might have two very different sides.
No doubt. But the murderer is not mad. All the specialists agree that he does not have the profile of the psychopath.
But if Cust is not guilty, how do you explain his presence at the scene of the crimes?
Mr. Clark, the answer to your question is in the medical records of your brother's patients. Documents which Cust most certainly did not have access to. Let us now try and get our brain cells
More
to
brain
work.
cells. He's doing a lot of thinking on the fly. in
I was
this
just gonna say, I was like, I
episode.
figured I had it out already.
What do we know about Cust? He's easily influenced. That seems relevant. His war wound and they were both about the war wound. How to explain Cust's presence at the crime scene? How to explain Cust's presence at the No, it's not that he wanted. Because that seems extreme. This seems extreme. That seems extreme.
And then this one, but it just...
So the presence at the crime scenes is that they're salesmen. And that one about the two most obvious ones. Our next best assumption. The door to door. We'll put that one there. Traveling by train. Right in the head. does not appear to be this. So what should we go with as our next?
I don't know. I'm getting dizzy. I'm all flipping around. I have to let you do.
You swim. Oh, it's not swim.
Just kidding. There's not the. You can't.
We'll try a train. Travel by train is wrong. A and B are in Dr. C. Oh,
What?
Okay.
What? What did it end up being?
It was
Dr.
that
Clark's patient's records provided a very useful list of potential victims, sorted by alphabetical order.
they were all in the
The killer
doctor.
definitely used it, explaining the fact that all the victims were former patients of the doctor. It is this fact that clears Cust once and for all, because he never had access to these records. So how did he happen to be at the scene of the crimes? Either the murderer sent him there, or Cust was following him closely. Cust's highly suggestible nature leads us to the second hypothesis. The murderer was manipulating him. He systematically sent Cust to the towns where he was going to strike, so that the suspicion would land on the poor man's shoulder.
That's evil. What sort of killer could have such a plan? And what would he gain from 3 completely different murders?
Indeed, it seems unlikely that the same murderer committed all the crimes. What should we take from that?
Pleasure. That seems like
The murderer first killed for money, but then began to enjoy it.
But Mr. Poirot, the first murder was my aunt, and nobody had anything to gain from killing her.
Ah, certes. Therefore, this is not what happened.
that
3
kills for pleasure.
murders.
I'm gonna
The
say
murderer does not kill out of interest, but for pleasure.
You yourself told us that the murderer was not a psychopath.
Ah oui, absolument. Therefore, let us look for something else.
So you think it's that there's 3 murderers?
I don't, but I think of all of those, that one is the most sort of interesting.
Okay. Or say that just one murder.
There is not one murderer, but 3 accomplices, who all use the same scenario.
Do you mean that 3 murderers with quite different aims joined forces to create a small
Okay,
scheme?
Jesus. I
Here's
just
another
thought
question.
Maybe.
Is it still necessary to find a motive for each crime? And the one in Andover poses problem. Why was poor Mrs. Asher killed?
Indeed. It would be best to forget this theory.
Well, Jesus. I just got dressed down. So I guess, yeah, there's...
Just one murder was of benefit to the murderer. The others were just diversions. On reflection, there is only one conclusion. The murderer killed once out of interest, and twice to divert our attention. This reasoning points at 2 potential culprits.
Franklin Clark.
Donald Fraser?
Yes, mademoiselle. That's good thinking. Mr. Fraser may have killed Betty out of jealousy. Mr. Clark may have killed his brother in order to inherit his large fortune. Both have a motive.
But Donald did not have access to Dr. Clark's records.
Please allow me to disagree with you, mademoiselle.
No, he definitely wasn't one of the...
He works for Court and Brunskill, one of whose clients was Sir Carmichael.
It doesn't prove that I went to Comeside.
You could have done it, and you may have used the opportunity to take a look at Sir Carmichael's records.
You think I'm guilty?
You? or Mr. Franklin Clark?
That's ridiculous.
Both of you have a motive. The question is, which of you has the profile that most resembles the murderer?
Let's get our brain cells working.
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Is Donald... Is he sure of himself? Is Donald...
Oh, what's his name? The old guy was seducer of the...
Trains. I like trains.
I like trains. They're a lot of fun.
Trains are good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald may share many character traits with the murderer, but he does not have his cold indifference. He has a temper. It is hard to imagine him planning anything. Also, jealousy is his motive, and crimes of passion are rarely planned.
Right,
That's
I
true.
suppose it's my turn to be subjected to
Whereas
the same scrutiny.
killing for money.
Absolument, Mr. Clark. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Yeah, did you see? Hmm?
Spinningmantis seducer. It's great. Just Franklin like trains. And so of course he likes trains. Impulsive.
As you have all seen, there is a disturbing similarity between Mr. Clark's profile and that of the killer. In actual fact, it is exactly the same.
Mr. Poirot, your psychological studies are interesting, but your conclusions do not add up. Why would I have wished my brother's death? The inheritance is lawfully mine. I just have to wait.
No, you had to act quickly.
Throw a grape.
Because of Miss Grey. Mademoiselle, although you haven't been telling the truth, there is no doubt in my mind that you would have found a way to marry Sir Carmichael after Lady Clark's death. For you, Mr. Clark, it was a disaster. If Miss Grey had children by your brother, you would not have inherited a thing. You realized the danger after reading several letters from Comside, especially one in which your brother opened his heart to you. So you hurried home from China, and you took action. In truth, Cust was no more than a puppet manipulated by the real culprit. You, Mr. Clark.
Such an imagination, Mr. Poirot. In fact, nobody manipulated Cust. The famous instructions he received by post. He wrote them on the typewriter. We know that for sure.
Oh no. You know perfectly well. That is not true. Eh bien voilà. Light has now been shed on the ABC murders.
Your theories are ingenious, but you haven't any proof.
One point to him. For the moment, I have no material proof. Either I admit to it, or I bluff.
Lie about the fingerprints on the typewriter. Say that proof is going to be easy to find or invent. What would Poirot do? I think he would bluff. The fingerprints on the typewriter.
That's what my thought is.
Because but we definitely have proof. We know that. Right, but we're bluffing about something. Couldn't be true. So believe the bluff if he never touched the typewriter. So we've got to say he figured out he slipped up somewhere else.
Oh yes, I guess that would be
One thing proves it. A carton of placed cigarettes you stole from Mrs. Asher and found at your home.
You have nothing on me. You're bluffing, Mr. Poirot. Come on, Thora, there's nothing for us to do here.
Don't touch me.
Thora!
I understand why you never wanted to lend me your new typewriter, and why you were searching through your brother's things. And the hole you dug on the moors. What did you hide there? The knife you used to kill your brother?
All right. Well played. I lose. The game's up.
There's going to be a confrontation and a gun.
Yeah, that's
Don't come near
why.
me. I'll never let you take me, Mr. Poirot.
Still die that way. From the gas that shoots out of the gun.
I'm sorry, Mr. Clark, there is no easy death for you. I expected your reaction, so I used blanks. I'm sorry, mademoiselle, but your second chance has been lost. Franklin Clark will never inherit his brother's fortune.
Your second chance. Wait,
Puzzle.
second chance.
She was in love with the dead brother, and then she was
kind of getting up with
getting
mom.
up with the brother who was the
Disappointed at having
murderer.
missed the chance to become Lady Clark, Thora Grey left England. Donald Fraser and Megan Barnard married.
I was gonna say those
It's
two
really
guys.
quiet.
On Poirot's recommendation, Mary Drower started to work for Lady Clark. The elderly lady's condition suddenly took a turn for the better. And a few months later, to Dr. Logan's great surprise, she was back on her feet again. According to this eminent
Like she's being
physician,
poisoned.
it appears
Right?
to be an extremely rare case of spontaneous remission. Lady Clark has enjoyed very good health ever since.
Oh, because they had an arsenic. They were giving her
Yeah.
arsenic.
That sort of got overlooked.
Journal of an
Yeah, it
Innocent.
did.
The incredible story of ABC. As for A.B. Coast, after being advised by Poirot, he made a great deal of money by selling his story to the press. And as for me, and with business booming, the Black Swan has become the #1 tourist
So
attraction
how did
in the
he
whole
this
of
guy get
Yorkshire.
manipulated?
Even more popular than
Who?
York
How
Minster.
did he didn't get manipulated? He got manipulated
Because
because everyone told him he had.
I guess Franklin had sent him the typewriter, and Franklin was, I don't know how Franklin met him or
Yeah,
knew
I was
him.
gonna
From
say.
his brother's files. He was one of his brother's patients. He found out one of his brother's patients had a head injury from the
So
war.
he was like, okay,
And
let me send him a typewriter.
Yeah, and be like, yep, he sent him a typewriter.
Hey, type me these letters. Don't ask why. Okay, well there you go. There you go.
That was
We
I think
got
that was fun. I like that type of game.
The little like gray brain cells thing.
Yeah, some of the connections that were made were a bit non-intuitive.
Yeah.
But still, nothing that was too hard to work through. We got all the puzzles fairly quick. It was that one dumb one that took us a whole episode. We just couldn't. Oh, we couldn't find out where to put the key in the cougar's head.
Right.
So,
like where to put well, it took us forever to like figure out how to open all this stuff. Yeah, that's right. Can't we just put it down on the damn table? Like no one cares. Apparently no, you did.
Exactly. He's a very particular man. So, please like and subscribe and join us.
What are we gonna play next?
Hopefully next week. So there's 2 things that are coming next, and I kind of want 2 things. I kind of want to fit in Life is Strange prequel first. It's like 3 episodes, I think. So maybe 3 2-hour episodes. So it'd be super short. And then after that, we're definitely going to play L.A. Noire, which is sort of like a much better version of this.
Better be. Oh, of this. I thought you were going to say.
No. It's like
abysmal.
It's a lot of questioning and dialogue as well as clue searching and kind of little gray cell type stuff, but set in 40s.
Okay.
But I really like that one a lot, obviously.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. I liked Inside a lot just because it was so weird and cool. And same for Oxenfree, though. I think I like it probably less than you did because I know you played it through.
Right.
I think there was just too much of it. I was left scratching my like, now what? What is going on?
Oh, it's all head scratching, yeah.
But I thought that one was really cool. Yeah. And then I do like the Wolf.
The Wolf.
That one was cool.
Wolf Among Us is a classic. I
that
really
was
like.
good.
That's my favorite Telltale game. And it's actually got its boobies.
Oh wow. You're such a male.
I mean, hey, come on.
Woo, fake boobs! I love fake boobs. And then, and then I like Sherlock.
A Sherlock game was, I expected nothing from that. Surprisingly so. It had like 5 full cases.
I was like, surely this is the last one.
No, it was like it was like
4 more
50-hour game, I would say. It was really good, a lot of value. And then that company
whole
went.
Episodes where we couldn't figure out what newspaper. Where the hell that like last notebook or whatever that was seriously not there.
And that same company went and put out another Sherlock Holmes game afterwards, but they made it into an action game, so it's more of like a Tomb Raider game, and I just wasn't as interested. This young vampire-looking Sherlock Holmes.
So it's kind of like you do an action one, and then you've got like the old.
The Jeremy Brett one.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's gonna be all for now. See ya.
Bye.